I heard somebody once say, I think this sums it up rather well. When my child grows up and invariably gets in trouble, I don't want her to say, oh no, my dad's going to kill me. When she gets in trouble, I want her to say, oh no, I need to call my dad. Now, we don't want our kids getting in trouble. We don't want them stressing us out. We don't want them calling us with problems. But if in the event that they do get in trouble, God forbid, do you want them hiding from you or do you want them coming to you? Ask yourself this question. Who does your child go to when they're uncertain about things? Who does your child speak to when they're afraid? Who does your child speak to when scary things happen, when there's disappointment, when there's failure, and even moral failure that can be a cause for shame? Who does your child speak to about those things? Because if the answer isn't you, then there are only two other possible answers. One possibility is the answer is no one. They have nobody to speak to, which means, in that case, they are terribly alone, which should pain any parent to imagine a child being that alone. Or the other possibility is they found somebody, or they think they found somebody to trust, and you don't get to pick who that is. So when they're processing whatever they're going through in life, who are they talking to? Who are they getting feedback from? And what are this person's values? Do you know? We're not even sure who the person is. Surely we don't know what values they have. You see what I'm saying? I'm coming back to the same point. The bonding is a prerequisite for the transmission of values. Because if you want your child to live according to your values, if you want your child to care about what you care about, to make decisions based on the priorities that you believe are the true and correct priorities in life, as distinct from what I was describing earlier, which is mere behavioral compliance, which they'll do in front of you, like I slow down when I see a cop and I speed right back up when I don't see a cop. Or that's why I use Waze in New York even when I know where I'm going, because it tells me when there's a speed trap. Right? I know if there's a camera, I don't want to speed in front of the camera. If there's no camera, I'm going to speed. They have not successfully installed that value into me. I guess I didn't feel that they cared about me so much. So then I just didn't receive it so much. They send me these $50 tickets constantly, so it's hard to feel that they care about me. I live in New York now. Can you believe that? That itself is so stressful, living in New York. But God bless you guys. At least you're raising your children in a nice, calm place. Baruch Hashem. Okay, you got that going for you. All right. So I love the Midwest. But you know, I'm afraid to say too much of it because they're recording it, and then it's going to go on YouTube, and then the East Coast people are going to hear it and be insulted. No, the East Coast is wonderful. It's lovely. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. Okay. That's where my great-grandparents landed when they came from Russia. And then they left. No, but I went back there, so New York's great. New York is fantastic. Okay, I love New York. Okay. What are they even talking about? Oh, the camera tickets. Okay, but what I'm saying is, you follow what I'm saying? The bonding isn't just because it's pleasant. The bonding isn't just because it feels good. The bonding is, how are you going to transmit your values to your child if you're not the go-to person? How's that even going to happen? Yeah, maybe you can, until they get old enough to hide better or to leave the house, that you could enforce some degree of behavioral compliance, at least while you're watching. But to actually install values into this child that they should actually care, they're only going to care about the things you care about when they know that you care about them. That's just how it works. That's how people work. And there's no way to hack this fact of human psychology. That's the way Hashem made our brains. So there's no way around it. There's an incredible, I just want to read this to you. I wrote it down because I couldn't memorize the words yet. But Rav Avram Shor Shlita, who's the son of Rav Gedalia Zatzal. So he wrote a sefer, Halakach V'Alibov. And he wrote there I wrote it down because the words were so powerful. Iker hanakuda. He says, what is parenting? What is chinuch? Iker hanakuda, like the main essential point. Shiargishu habonim es ahava hagdela sheyesh lohedim livnehem. Is that the children should feel, doesn't say they should know, they should feel the great love that the parents have for them. V'shehem muchonim lahafker kol asher yesh lahem ba'avuram. And that the children feel that the parents are ready to give up, to sacrifice, to forego everything for the sake of their children. Oh no, you're going to raise entitled children. They're going to be brats. They think the world revolves around them. Their parents are ready to sacrifice everything for them. No. I want to do authentic Jewish parenting. I'm going to let my kid know I won't do anything for him, right? Does that make sense to you? Okay. So, Halakha Chvalibov continues. Vizeh mekasher esam. This is the key term here. Vizeh, this, what we described, that the children feel loved. And not just love. They feel love to the point of mesiras nefesh, where the parents are ready to give up everything because of their love for their child. That's what a parent, what is a parent? What's a mother? What's a father? A mother, a father, someone who's ready to give their own life so that their child could have just a little bit better life. That's what we are. Don't resist that. Don't deny that. And certainly not in the name of Yiddishkeit. When Yiddishkeit is telling us the exact opposite. So he says, when the children are margish, when they feel that love to the extent of being ready to give up everything, the parents are ready to give up everything, then what happens? It's very simple. V'zeh mekasha oisam. This connects them. It connects the children to the parents. Lekabel kolma shemavakshim mehem. To receive whatever the parent request. Notice he doesn't say order, but request of them. So it's very simple. Don't tell me, well, this isn't a popularity contest. I don't need my kids to like me. Okay, no, you don't need that. You're right. And if you're talking about your self-esteem, get it from somewhere else. Preferably, if you're a God-fearing Jew, your self-esteem should come from the fact that Hashem loves you, and that you're a neshama, and that you are infinitely precious. Okay, so no, you don't need, on a personal level, you don't need your kids to like you. Obviously, God forbid. That's sick, that's twisted. But from a practical point of view, you have a mitzvah. You have to get your children to know how to live and to actually buy into it and actually care about what they're supposed to care about. Okay, so how's that going to happen? How's that going to happen? That's going to happen when they know that you are ready to give up everything for their happiness. That doesn't raise entitled children, spoiled brats, self-absorbed children. That's not what happens. Most self-absorbed people I see are people who grew up emotionally insecure. No, when you raise a child to feel emotionally safe, what happens is they're ready to receive. Now, I'm going to say something that should probably go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that is that if you do all the emotional bonding and making your child feel safe, and then you don't actually model values for them, that's not going to work either. You have to do both. You have to do both. But, and listen, I want to tell you something. I was thinking the other day, I was speaking to a father, and I was telling him, if I would be Hashem, I would be the most liberal Hashem. Because I would say, I'm telling you, what I would do is if a parent did one or the other, I would give it to them. Like either they were really emotionally bonded with their kid, okay, but they forgot to model good values, but I would say, you know what, let their kids turn out well, Or they did the opposite. They modeled good values, but they didn't have that connection. I would say also give it to them. But in his infinite wisdom, Hashem has determined the way it works is we got to do both.
Hey, this is Shais Taub. You were just watching a clip from this class. If you want to get the full context, the full class that this clip that you just watched was from, You watch right here. Click right here. Here.